Beyond the funnel, building continuous engagement through adaptive marketing ecosystems. Chapter 8. Future-proofing your marketing strategy. Marketing strategies built on yesterday's assumptions risk becoming obsolete in today's interconnected marketplace. The traditional funnel, once a reliable blueprint guiding prospects from awareness to purchase, is no longer sufficient for brands aiming to build lasting customer relationships. Instead, marketers must embrace adaptive ecosystems that evolve alongside their audiences, anticipating shifts in behavior and preferences before they become challenges. Future-proofing your marketing strategy means moving beyond static plans and linear journeys. It requires cultivating agility within your approach, integrating content, community, and commerce into a seamless experience that responds dynamically to real-time insights. This chapter explores how businesses can design marketing frameworks that are resilient enough to withstand market disruptions while remaining deeply relevant to their customers' needs. By exploring practical methods for embedding flexibility into your marketing operations, the chapter reveals how adaptive marketing transforms uncertainty into opportunity. Readers will encounter strategic models and case studies that illustrate companies that have successfully navigated change by fostering continuous dialogue across channels, rather than relying on one-way communication or rigid sales paths. As digital landscapes become increasingly complex and consumer expectations evolve, future-proofing is no longer just an advantage, it becomes essential for survival and growth. This chapter provides actionable guidance for marketers who are ready to rethink conventional tactics, embrace innovation responsibly, and build ecosystems designed for longevity rather than short-term gains. In the pages ahead, readers will gain clarity on why traditional funnels falter under modern pressures and how adaptive marketing offers a roadmap towards sustained relevance. The journey begins with understanding the forces reshaping buyer behavior and ends with a toolkit for crafting strategies that keep pace with an ever-changing world. Fostering a culture of innovation and agile experimentation. In an era where customer expectations and market dynamics are constantly evolving, the most resilient marketing organizations are those that embed innovation and agile experimentation into their very DNA. This goes beyond simply adopting new tools or platforms. It requires cultivating a culture where curiosity is encouraged, hypotheses are tested systematically, and failure is reframed as a critical learning opportunity rather than a setback. Marketing teams must shift away from rigid annual planning cycles toward iterative processes that respond in real time to emerging insights. A less obvious but powerful driver of such a culture is empowering cross-functional collaboration that breaks down traditional silos between marketing, sales, product development, and customer service. When diverse perspectives come together regularly to co-create experiments, from content variations to channel tests, organizations unlock creative problem-solving potential while ensuring initiatives remain grounded in actual customer needs. This collaborative mindset also accelerates feedback loops, allowing data-driven adjustments before costly rollouts. Embedding agile experimentation demands deliberate investment in both skills and infrastructure. Teams should be equipped with frameworks for rapid hypothesis formulation and validation, paired with analytics capabilities that deliver timely, actionable insights. However, it's equally important to design governance structures that balance autonomy with accountability, encouraging risk-taking within guardrails aligned with business objectives. Without this equilibrium, efforts either stagnate under excessive control or flounder without clear direction. An often overlooked aspect is leadership's role in modeling adaptability themselves. Leaders who openly share lessons from failed experiments and champion ongoing learning create psychological safety, essential for sustained innovation. They signal that agility isn't just a buzzword, but a core value that shapes decision-making at every level. This approach transforms marketing from a reactive function into a proactive growth engine, continually refining its playbook based on evolving audience signals. Real-world examples illustrate how adaptive marketing ecosystems thrive when innovation becomes routine, rather than episodic bursts of creativity. Consider brands that run rolling pilot programs across micro-segments or geographies, each serving as live labs that inform broader strategy adjustments. These organizations avoid the trap of big bang launches by iterating incrementally with authentic customer feedback driving evolution. Ultimately, future-proofing marketing means embedding an ecosystem where continuous experimentation fuels deeper engagement and sustainable growth, not by chasing every shiny trend but through disciplined agility, tailored to unique market contexts. By fostering this culture intentionally today, businesses equip themselves not only to survive disruption, but to shape their industry's futures proactively. Designing scalable ecosystems for complex market demands. Traditional marketing funnels often struggle to keep pace with today's multifaceted customer journeys. When audiences interact with brands across diverse platforms and expect personalized experiences, linear models fall short. Designing scalable ecosystems means building a marketing framework that flexes with complexity rather than resisting it, one that embraces fragmentation as an opportunity rather than a challenge. Consider how Patagonia approaches its ecosystem. Instead of pushing customers down a fixed path, they integrate content, community engagement, and commerce in ways that mirror their audience's values and behaviors. Their Wornwear initiative invites customers to share stories about their gear, fostering a community centered on sustainability, while simultaneously driving product sales through curated repair services and used gear marketplaces. This approach scales naturally because it evolves in tandem with the customer conversation rather than trying to control it. A key principle in designing scalable ecosystems is modularity, creating distinct yet interconnected components that can be adapted or expanded without disrupting the entire system. For instance, a brand might develop separate content hubs targeting different segments, but link them through shared themes or interactive forums where users cross-pollinate ideas. This layered structure supports deeper engagement and makes it easier for marketers to pivot when market demands shift unexpectedly. Scalability also hinges on data integration across channels, breaking down silos so insights flow seamlessly into decision-making processes. Brands that rely solely on isolated metrics miss the bigger picture, how interactions in one channel influence behaviors in other channels. Adaptive marketing platforms enable continuous feedback loops where data from social communities informs content strategies, which then refine commerce touchpoints, all working together toward sustained growth. In practice, this means moving beyond rigid campaign calendars toward ongoing dialogues fueled by real-time data and insights. Imagine an outdoor apparel company detecting increased interest in eco-friendly materials within their community forums. They quickly ramp up related educational content while spotlighting relevant products in e-commerce channels, all without waiting for quarterly planning cycles to catch up. Ultimately, future-proofing your marketing requires embracing complexity as the new normal and designing ecosystems built for agility at scale. Brands that succeed will be those who view every customer interaction not as a step in a funnel, but as part of an evolving relationship, a living network of touchpoints that responds fluidly to emerging needs and preferences. This mindset shift transforms challenges into opportunities for growth in an ever-changing market landscape. Building strategic partnerships to extend your marketing reach. A common misconception about strategic partnerships is that they are merely transactional agreements designed to expand distribution channels or capitalize on co-branding opportunities. While these outcomes can be valuable, treating partnerships as mere tactical alliances overlooks their potential to transform marketing ecosystems into adaptive, interconnected networks. True strategic partnerships go beyond short-term gains. They create shared value through aligned goals, collaborative innovation, and mutual audience engagement. At the core of effective partnerships lies a mindset shift, from competing for attention within isolated silos to co-creating experiences that resonate across multiple touchpoints. For example, when brands partner with complementary companies or influential communities, they tap into authentic conversations rather than interruptive messaging. This approach amplifies trust and relevance by positioning each partner not only as a seller, but also as a trusted resource that contributes meaningfully to the customer's journey. Consider how outdoor apparel brands have partnered with adventure travel companies to deliver immersive content and curated experiences. Rather than pushing product features alone, these collaborations foster storytelling that invites audiences into lifestyles and values shared by both entities. The partnership evolves dynamically, Marketing initiatives adapt based on feedback from engaged communities, fueling continuous refinement of messaging and offerings. To build such partnerships effectively, organizations must prioritize alignment around purpose and audience insights before negotiating terms. This requires transparency in objectives and an openness to co-develop strategies that leverage each partner's unique strengths, be it content creation capabilities, technological platforms, or community access. Tools such as joint editorial calendars, shared analytics dashboards, and regular cross-team workshops facilitate seamless coordination and responsiveness. Moreover, successful partners view collaboration as an ongoing dialogue rather than a one-off campaign. They invest in relationship-building activities, such as knowledge-sharing sessions or joint events, that deepen their understanding of evolving customer needs. This foundation enables agile responses to market shifts without sacrificing authenticity, a key differentiator in an environment where consumers increasingly expect personalized interactions over generic outreach. In practice, extending marketing reach through strategic partnerships means integrating ecosystems where content flows naturally between stakeholders, while commerce opportunities emerge organically from trusted engagements. By rejecting outdated funnel mentalities focused solely on conversion points, marketers unlock resilient growth paths grounded in shared expertise and customer-centric innovation. Ultimately, future-proofing your marketing strategy requires reimagining partnerships not as add-ons, but as essential nodes within a dynamic ecosystem, one where collaboration fuels adaptability and sustained relevance amid shifting audience behaviors. Embracing this paradigm equips businesses to move beyond linear tactics toward interconnected models built on enduring relationships that drive long-term success. Implementing continuous adaptation for sustainable growth. A common misconception about continuous adaptation in marketing is that it requires constant drastic changes to campaigns or messaging, often seen as disruptive or resource-intensive. In reality, continuous adaptation is less about frequent overhauls and more about an ongoing process of subtle tuning informed by real-time insights. It's a strategic rhythm rather than sporadic bursts of activity. This distinction is crucial for sustainable growth because it allows organizations to evolve without losing coherence or exhausting their teams. Implementing continuous adaptation begins with establishing feedback loops that capture customer behaviors, preferences, and sentiment across all touchpoints. These data streams feed into an integrated ecosystem where content, community interactions, and commerce signals inform one another. For example, analyzing community discussions can reveal emerging needs or pain points that content teams can address promptly, while commerce data uncovers shifts in purchase patterns. This interconnected flow ensures marketing efforts remain relevant and aligned with audience expectations. Beyond technology, successful continuous adaptation demands a culture that embraces learning and agility. Teams must be empowered to test hypotheses quickly, learn from outcomes, and iterate without fear of failure. This mindset transforms marketing from a rigid campaign-driven function into a dynamic engine for innovation. When combined with clearly defined metrics tied to long-term customer value, not just short-term conversions, organizations can strike a balance between experimentation and strategic focus. Case studies demonstrate how brands have leveraged this approach to future-proof their strategies. One retailer implemented adaptive marketing by integrating social listening tools directly into product development cycles. Instead of waiting for quarterly reports, the team responded within days to trends identified through community engagement platforms, resulting in faster product adjustments and an increase in customer satisfaction scores over time. In practice, implementing continuous adaptation often means investing in flexible infrastructure, including modular content systems that allow for rapid updates, CRM platforms capable of capturing nuanced customer journeys, and analytics frameworks designed for iterative learning rather than static reporting. These components reduce friction when adjustments are needed and enable marketers to pivot smoothly as market conditions shift. Ultimately, continuous adaptation redefines growth as a journey rather than a destination, a steady progression driven by responsiveness rather than reactive scrambling. By embedding adaptability at the core of their ecosystems, businesses not only mitigate risks posed by uncertainty, but also unlock new opportunities embedded within evolving consumer landscapes. This approach moves beyond traditional funnel thinking, where success is measured by discrete stages that end in conversion. Instead, it fosters perpetual dialogue where every interaction informs the next step in building deeper relationships and sustained revenue streams that reflect changing audience dynamics over time.